It's going to be just absolutely wonderful.
I'm filming you, filming me.
That's okay. Remember, did I ever tell you? Oh, my husband.
This way. Let's lewa you. Le lohma lakai no melechi. Tahawi ekipasa laka tahapsa chili lechi. Tohesa hikepa kominan le. Hulin lech. Well, laka taiteka sa lewa tahap. Kominan lech panali. Tahawi. Let lohma lakai lawis lohma. Let la taiteka sa no taiteka. Kominan lech efehe. Pami las pastohesa. Creator, grandfathers and grandmothers, ancestors, we come in a good way. We ask that you protect and guide us and give us the strength and knowledge so that all of us reclaim our language and our culture. Watch over all of our children and give them the desire to know their culture and give peace to all.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so happy to see you. And that was a lovely write-up in the Cedar Street Times.
So I want to thank everybody for coming, and I want to thank Helen Johnson for starting this, inviting the people to give the blessings back 4 years ago, and Bob Pacelli for carrying it on, and back to my list. City of Pacific Grove for setting it up, bringing out the chairs, the sound system, and all that. Louise Ramirez, the tribal chairwoman of the Ohlone, Castano, and Esselen Nation of the Central Coast, and Kenpo Carton Rinpoche. And all of you for adding your energy and your time. I ask God to help us be good stewards of this gift.
Thank you, Mark. Well, I'm Bob Pacelli, which you probably all know, and sometimes called the tree guy or the monarch whisperer. None of it's true. Pacific Grove is the monarch whisperers, and we stand here for the 4th time. And I was thinking this morning that 4 years ago we stood here, and actually in the opposite direction, and all we had was a real hope that we'd bring the monarchs back. At that point, we had lost the monarchs, and the trees were cut down. We had this crazy scheme with these eucalyptus and big boxes and other trees that nobody had ever done before in the world. And because we believed, we put them together and they came back. And since then, we've gone and done it another 2 or 3 times. But this year, something's changed. And the change can either be good or bad, no matter how we look at it. But if you look behind me, you'll notice there's just no more sanctuary on the other side of the fence. And what's gone is so vast and so far gone that all the King's men and all Pacelli's friends could never put this back together again. So fundamentally, we've changed the sanctuary. That could be a good thing, though. And that's why we're here today. Because we cannot, people actually stop and ask me, when are we going to put the trees back in? Well, we put them in the ground last June. All those openings are being generated from the other side, which we cannot control. What we can control is an incredible unity and good spirit, because things are going to change in the sanctuary like we've never seen before. And they're hopefully going to show up in different places that we've never seen. And maybe, just maybe, if we have a miracle, they'll be sitting, hanging on to these trees for good life, for dear life that so many people put so much energy into. So, we're on to our blessing, and I just want to point out that our 2 star angels here to bless the Rinpoche and Louise are not just your average holy people, okay? After the first blessing, and way back in the first year, I came back one day, and here was Louisa walking around the sanctuary. And I said, what are you doing here? And this is long after she'd given us the blessing. She said, I had felt the bad spirits coming up to these corners of the sanctuary, and it came back. 2 days later, one of the city foresters cut down one of the trees. And we went through a whole scenario which we don't want to get into today. but she felt that. And since then, she's been an incredible force in supporting me and the monarchs and the trees and the people of Pacific Grove, non-stop. And the Rinpoche, there's a tree back here that he planted in June. And he was telling me as he was growing up, him and his sister would go out and play with the butterflies. And he re-acknowledged what I already knew, was that it's one of the few mammals or one of the few animals that will come to you. If you hold your hands, a monarch will come to you and seek your warmth. And it just goes on and on. But I'm incredibly grateful to those two people and all the people here who let us put in these 70 trees and these 150 plants in the last 3 years. Where we go from here, I don't know. But I'm humble and grateful, and we're going to start the blessing. So here you go.
But before we start, you know, I began getting involved because I went to see Robert Marable because I love that guy. I don't know if you know him, but if you ever see who he is, he's a musician, pipe maker. He's from Colorado. And my sister and I are sitting in the car waiting because we got here early. It's at CSUMB. And this little lady comes up. You could barely see her head as she's driving. But she gets off and we start talking and we bonded. We had that friendship. And Helen has always kept in touch with me and invited us back. And I can't tell you how important it is that you know who we are. Okay? That you know that we're still here. That we haven't left. And I want to say, Helen Johnson, Selekan, what did it say?
Oh, what a thoughtful thing to do.
Selekan Tanak, which is the butterfly woman.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So here you got those
Oh,
butterflies.
that feels good too. Thank you.
Robert is that time. This is specially drawn. We had it drawn.
That
It's
is
California
wonderful.
Indian. And
It's absolutely
very
beautiful
good.
drawing.
I didn't get to say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nishafehe lekalai. Let Iwanomatsa lekalai. Kominan lekalai. Takari le chaalai. Mashapa let chaalai. Ewai mitano let la chaalai. Let efehe mawipa lai. Let mawi lai. Let ewai mitano la mawi lai. Let efehe mesh palai. Let mef palai. Let ewai mitano la mef palai. Let ka hek efehe. Let cha excellent cha. Let cha excellent cha. Let kalai. Let cha. Let kalai. Let cha. Let ewai mitano la cha alai. Let kalai. Let kalai. Let kalai. My people, we are here. Our homeland, we are here. Everyone, we are here. Yesterday, we lived here. Today, we live here. Forever, we will live here. Our people sang here. We sing here. We will always sing here. Our people danced here. We dance here. We will always dance here. We are one people. We live. Esalen lives. We exist. Esalen exists. We are here. We exist. We are here. We exist. We will always.
Rola Bizer Sanjender Barisho, Namasawa, Danga, Bayom, the Sawa, the Sawarana, Mangana, Pangana. Bowling Bay, so Namasawa, Danga, the Bayom, the Yom, the Bea, Sarwa, the Ladan Lujan, Ajutun, the Sosunda, Daji Chijin Bulana, Chiji Dollar, Sadoso, Honga, the Ladan. Najutun the Sasunda, Daji Chijolana, Chijin, the Sawa, Danga. Agara Daya Savan Pingani Agara Kayanza, Angalula be longa jina ne bama ziji bimbo samba deva yene be samba donga ye.
Okay. Here we go. Instantly, seeing myself in my own divine form, light shines from my heart, inviting the devas of the four elements, and the owners of the land of this place especially, who all come to seat themselves before me. In birthless, primordial, pure, ultimate nature, terms like God and ghosts do not exist, yet projected by mistaken dualistic mind, gods and ghosts and such things do exist.
You feel that's calling you, and give that sage and tobacco and mugwort in prayer to whether it's a tree or
The
a
ground.
bush. Go do it. Go. And come back and we're going to give you some history lesson. I love that you come out. And I thank you from the bottom of our hearts.